All right, next up we've got Feed FM, and presenting are Jeff Yasuda and Eric Lambrecht.
All right. Thanks. Oh, boy. All right. So every company is trying to build audience, engagement, and retention. They use a series of tools, if it's social media, ads, promotions, to name a few. But we attack this challenge by using music. All right. My name is Jeff Yasuda. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Feed FM. Think music as a service. And we've been described as the Stripe for music. And we're a B2B play focused on building engagement, retention, and revenues for our customers. You know, music has a profound effect on our emotions and on the mind. And to illustrate, this is your brain, and this is your brain on music. And the research shows that using music online increases spending, it increases the time in the venue, and it even improves the perception of the brand. But the unfortunate truth is that using music online is a legal nightmare, and there are a series of questions you gotta ask, from what lawyer to use, to what copyright agencies I pay, to even specifics of the internet radio statute. And quite frankly, it's a massive, massive undertaking. And that's exactly why we created Feed FM. We're a team that loves music, and we've been doing digital music for a long, long time. We're the same team that brought you Blip FM or Twitter for Music back in the day. But we're super excited about what we're doing with Feed FM. We provide a legal, turnkey way to add popular music to your website, app, or game. And we take care of all the legal brain damage so you can focus on building an awesome product. We've got a super simple API, and we have JavaScript, iOS, and Unity SDKs available. We work really well with the Shopify platform, and we've even built a WordPress plugin that enables you to get music running on your site in no time. Today I'm going to ask my co-founder and CTO, Eric Lambrecht, to demonstrate just how easy it is to get the player up and running on one of my favorite restaurants here in San Francisco called Foreign Cinema. Simply head over to Feed FM and log in, type in the name of the website or the product, and you've got a choice to either use your own music content in the digital workspace that we've created for you, or you can choose from the thousands of expertly curated stations on our consumer-facing product, fuzz.com, or people-powered radio. Foreign Cinema asked us to do a specially curated station, so Eric's picking that. Choose the player format that you like, and simply download the plugin. Now head back over to your WordPress dashboard, and in Plugins, simply upload and activate the plugin, and you're good to go. So heading back over to the site, you'll notice that the HTML5 player sits on top of the site, and most importantly, there's no need for messy pop-up players or the need, God forbid, to send traffic to another site to listen to music. Our player is 100% designed to increase session time and therefore engagement on your product. We're going to move over to a mobile demo now. This is actually a first-person shooter game called Hog Wild Shooting, built by the good guys at Monstrous. You notice without music, it's a pretty average experience. But using Feed FM to power the music, the game really comes alive. Oh yeah. All right, I think you get the point. Heading back to the presentation. So we also have the necessary analytics and A/B test infrastructure for you to quickly determine if there is lift in engagement, retention, and revenues when using Feed FM. And we think the market opportunity is massive, from gaming to dating to sporting goods, beverage, and clothing. The online e-commerce industry is a $370 billion business. We've seen our product in beverage sites. We've seen it on women's T-shirt sites. We've seen it on Peter Frampton's ticket site. We've seen it in fitness apps like Truly. And most recently, we're super excited. You'll be seeing it with University of California. We're working closely with them to help really promote the value of higher education and also to build engagement with students around popular music from UC alums such as Maroon 5, Sarah Bareilles, and Linkin Park, to name a few. But most importantly, we've seen results. In a recent blackjack game that was built, we ran an A/B test. Without music, session times were 11 minutes, return visits were at 15%, and the bounce rate was 52%. With music, it was a totally different story. Session times grew to 51 minutes, return visits at 41%, and we dropped the bounce rate to 2%. In fact, without exception, every single customer working with Feed FM has seen an increase in session times anywhere between 20 and 400%, and in some cases, an increase in daily average revenue up to 20%. But what we're most excited today to announce for the first time ever is the launch of our self-service platform. For the price of $25 per month, you can get popular music streaming on your website, app, or game. Make sure that you use the TechCrunch promo code CapandCrunch, because for a limited time, we're giving out some free trials. Thanks so much for your time, and we hope to see you on Feed FM.
All right. Judges, maybe you want to jump in?
God, I hate to say anything positive about your site because we already are inundated with every music startup seeking funding. But I'm going to try and be balanced with you guys. So music on websites suck. I know it sucks. They play the same crappy music, and you're going to bring better quality music to these sites, and mobile apps. But take us through a quick breakdown of the cost. Usually that's what stymies most music startups. They can't figure out how to balance the cost with consumption. So
sure.
Tell us how you guys have figured that out.
Sure, so maybe we can up-level it even a little bit more in terms of who we pay, in terms of the copyright agencies. For the sound recordings, we pay Sound Exchange. For the publishing, we pay the PROs, and there's certain rates that we have to pay to be in compliance. In terms of some of the other challenges, some of the other things that we take care of, I think at a high level, a lot of companies face issues with engagement and trying to bring users, keep them on site. You mentioned curation. A lot of times brands have an opinion about the music that they want to bring customers in, to really engage them. And with our product, we allow brands to actually curate this. But what they don't want to deal with are the legal challenges. So when you break down some of the costs, I think most importantly, we focus on customers that are making money. Right? These are gaming companies. These are online retails that sell stuff. I mean, again, I went through the brain damage of doing a couple consumer music companies, as you allude to, and it's really, really tough. I had a super tough time, and now we're trying to focus really more on an actual business model where we're bringing engagement and retention to our customers.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to pay sync licensing if you're syncing music to a game while you're playing like the one that you're demonstrating with like an AC/DC song?
Sure. So we do not fall into the sync license category at all. I think, again, you ask a pretty technical question, so I answer it technically. What defines a sync is that to the extent you cannot stop, if you can stop the game and the music continues, that is not considered a sync. If you stop the music and the game continues, that is not considered a sync, and that's exactly how our player works. So with videos, unfortunately, we really can't do anything about that.
Yeah. I like the optimization, like being able to get the analytics built into that.
Sure.
I mean, how much do you think you want to invest in that area as opposed to going and getting more music or ease of use? Like, which is the thing that really is going to differentiate you? Is it because it's easy to sign up? Is it because your analytics are really good and you're going to be able to optimize that? Or is it because you'll have the best collection?
Yeah, so awesome question. I mean, our customers really drive this, and quite frankly, many of our customers have come back to us saying, well, how do people interact with the content? Mm-hmm. What songs are people skipping? What songs are they, do they like? What songs do they share? What songs do they hate? And these are things we track. We also match, to the extent there is a correlation, we actually match what song was being played when conversions happen. Mm-hmm. And to the extent there is a strong correlation that, let's say, 16-year-old males buy women's lingerie when they listen to Taylor Swift, these are the type of things that we would share back with a brand.
I mean, that actually is a really interesting point because, like, usually when I go to websites to shop, I don't hear music. And you're right that you definitely could vary it by the type of user that you actually have,
Yes.
and sync it like with their CRM system,
Totally.
or something they know about their users.
Totally, and it's a great point. You know, the other thing I'd mention too, that our players opt in, right? Nobody wants to be sitting in their cube farm and all of a sudden getting caught on, you know, listening to music because they got blasted, right? So a lot of the processes we want to, a lot of the brands that we've been working with have actually been great. They've been blogging about the player, they've been blogging about their music experience, you know, and why you should engage with the player. And then when they see our numbers, it's really been, you know, it's pretty hard to refute.
So I was going to say, like, I don't think people want a noisy web, at least sort of intentional. It always feels a little bit like Muzak walking into stores and hearing that. So it's kind of like Muzak for the web or mobile. But I was very compelled by the metrics of really increasing that performance. How would a store or retailer actually get me to turn the music on to have a better shopping experience?
Yeah, so there have been a couple ways. I think I mentioned, you know, blogging about it. That's really been good. You know, a lot of brands, it's interesting, have a very strong opinion about music. And a lot of them either it's blasting, you know, out of the store, you know, in some cases there's perfume spraying plus music when you walk by the store. But a lot of the brands have music so ingrained in what they are, it just kind of seeps out of their personality. It seeps into the look of their, some of the products that they sell. There's always accolades to, you know, to artists that they love. So it really seeps out in a lot of different ways. And usually the authentic brands don't really have to work at it. It's really just part of their DNA.
But you'll have a big play button on the site, so when I show up to go shopping, it'll just try to nudge me to hit play and listen.
You can have a play button with some artwork on it that shows the artists that you like, that we think you might like, that are associated with the brand, to pull you in to play it rather than blasting out.
Yeah, and it's a great question because some brands want to be a lot more aggressive with the player. They want to have something big and fat, a giant radio in some cases that sits right in the middle of the page that you can't miss. Some brands like Ford and Cinema were very about the subtlety. I mean, it's a beautiful looking site, very visual. So they just want to keep a very sort of minimalist player at the top.
So what kind of music should an early stage venture firm have on their website?
Classical music. No.
All right.
You know, and it's funny. We're talking to a finance company actually about putting music. It's actually an online venture capital firm. We're going to run a test to play classical music because there's a ton of research to suggest that playing classical music, it actually gets people to spend more money, particularly in restaurants.
I can promise you that will not be.
I know, you're going to be a little more Burning Man, I think, so.
All right, so we're out of time, but great job, you guys. That was
Great.
Feed FM.
Great, thank you.